For more than 50 years, Father Harry Burry, the Maverick Priest, has been a voice calling for peace and justice in a world fraught with violence and injustice.
Here in St. Paul, as in Minneapolis, the mission of Twin Cities Nonviolent is to create an environment in which the Twin Cities and beyond can be free from violence.
Peace enriches our communities and individual lives as it directs us to embrace diversity and support one another to the fullest extent possible. To this goal, Twin Cities Nonviolent presents 8 Points to Peace.
In the Twin Cities, we need to change the way we look at justice. Justice is not vengeance. Justice is restorative.
In the Twin Cities, there are 3 police departments. There's the Highway Patrol, there's the Sheriff's Department, and then there's the City Police. But we're not afraid of the Highway Patrol or the Sheriff's Department, but we're afraid of the City Police. I wonder why that is. Could it possibly be training?
A lot of us don't know our police officers. They just come in our community and enforce law. We would like to get to know our police because we don't. We see them as enforcers instead of protectors.
How I can make the relationship better with the police in my community is, I don't know. I can't even tell you.
We can't have police officers with guns and tasers dealing with 12-year-olds behaving badly. What we need are trained professionals, people that know how to de-escalate, how to heal.
I gave a proposal to the Chief of Police in Minneapolis to train police in how to be creatively nonviolent by using empathy, and I haven't gotten a response yet. One of the tragedies of our country today is mass shooting, as we have just seen in Buffalo, New York, and in Texas. Mass shooting of our children, our babies. And the way to keep this from happening now in the future is reasonable gun laws.
Assault weapons are designed for one purpose and one purpose only: to kill as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. It's past time to ban assault weapons and large capacity magazines for civilian use. Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, also known as the PLCAA, blocks legal responsibility for gun manufacturers that have failed to innovate and make guns safer. It also protects gun manufacturers, distributors, and dealers who have irresponsible, reckless, and negligent sales practices that contribute to the flood of illegal firearms in our community. This law must be rescinded.
In 1994 through 2004, we had a ban on assault weapons, and mass shootings went down 43%. It works.
Requiring background checks on all gun sales is proven to reduce gun violence. State laws requiring background checks for all handgun sales, by point-of-sale check or permit, are associated with lower firearm homicide rates, lower firearm suicide rates, and lower firearm trafficking.
Everybody has a right to a place to live, a place to go to at night, a place to be with their family.
I work at a homeless shelter. We get stickers say housing is a human right. Yet on any given night in Minneapolis, there's roughly 10,000 people that are experiencing homelessness. It would cost us far less as taxpayers to pay for affordable housing. Booking and one night in jail, $400. A night in detox, $500. A workup in an emergency room, $4,000. Cost for an apartment, $900 to $1,000 a month. To keep a family together, it's essential that they have affordable housing.
People don't understand how dire the situation is. A father called seeking shelter. He had lost a job, it was a good job, and he was needing to separate his family in order to find safety. He said they were letting go of a lot of things, mainly each other.
That's not what Minneapolis and St. Paul are about. We're about helping these people to be able to live meaningful and fulfilling lives. Twin Cities Nonviolent is concerned about our schools. It's very important that our schools be places where the children not only feel safe, but where they learn to read and write and to get along with one another. That's so important.
Our city school systems can do better. As a society, what can we do to change that? Education is the #1 thing that provides the self-esteem for any individual.
My family was part of the largest gang in the state of Minnesota, and we preyed on kids. We have a gang problem in the Twin Cities just like a lot of other states. And the reason we have a gang problem is because kids are growing up without hope. And hope is just the breeding ground for attracting gangs. Gangs prey on kids that have no hope because they can't see a future, and they give them a future although it's dark.
If we can give our young kids opportunity, hope, and justice, I really believe we can stop the killing that's going on right now.
If they gave scholarships to people that didn't graduate, a lot of us would really want to be something in life. If we are able to get scholarships and things like that without graduating, I promise you a lot of African-American young men would be plumbers, electricians, police officers, you name it. A lot of us would be them.
Before I joined the gang, if somebody really would have offered me a scholarship to really better myself, I would have never joined the gang.
One of the missions of Twin Cities Nonviolent is to keep the families together.
A young teen in our community without a dad is almost destined for failure. It's up to all of us, our schools, our role models, our neighbors, to keep our families together. I grew up right over there at North Commons Park, and the one thing that made the difference for me is love. Love from my family and love from my community.
The biggest problem in America, in my opinion, is father absence. If every father went back and became a good father to their kids, we wouldn't have gang problems. We wouldn't have kids in poverty. We wouldn't have a lot of things that are going on wrong in this world if fathers would take their rightful place in a child's life.
I admit I'm a racist. I don't want to be, and I'm trying not to be. I want to see the goodness in every person because I believe there are no bad people in the world. There are only good people who do bad things like being racist.
You might not see the racism that happens in our community. You may not even be aware about the racism that happened in your own community. But what can we do to make that change? Racism is a two-way street. We should look at ourselves before we accuse someone else for being racist.
One of the blessings of living in the Twin Cities is that there is an amazing diversity. We have wonderful people who are of color. We have gay people who want to live a happy and fruitful and meaningful life. Twin Cities Nonviolent care about the people who are already here, the indigenous people, and for those who are now coming to our country, the migrants and the refugees who are seeking asylum. We're not against people who are different from us. We're for those who are different. See, we see the blessing in the people who are different, lovingly different. We respect them, we care about them, and we seek to treat them with love. Twin Cities Nonviolent has found a number of organizations that are doing a variety of things to bring people together.
As organizations, we need to provide the hope and the need and the space and opportunity for the kids in our community in North Minneapolis to be able to become more than what we're perceived as.
We're here on Lake Riley to go fishing with inner city young men.
I feel like it's a good time. It's gonna be a good experience because it's my first time going fishing. You know, I want to catch the biggest fish, all the fish.
Art is the universal language of peace. It brings communities and people together. The question is, what can we do to create an environment of love in the Twin Cities.
If I could wave my magic wand, the Twin Cities would do three things. All people would be in relationship with communities of color or those in poverty. We would end racism, and everyone would be able to afford a home.
It doesn't matter if you're in government, a community leader, or a voter. We need your help.
Join us for peace, please.